something as well. So let's move on to Schools Selector. First, we'll begin on the Education tab at the very top. Again, for Schools Selector, start on Education. That takes you to a map and it lists a tab for majors and colleges. Majors are simply those emphasis areas where you take more classes, and it gives you a certificate or diploma for that particular specialty. So the next step you're going to want to do is not play around with the map just yet, but you're going to need to select the school selector for the area that you're looking for. So today, I'll assume that I'm looking at the Career and Technical Schools area. So I click on that, and it brings me to what type of school I would like to attend possibly. And so certainly public, there are a lot of them in the state, 34 different community and technical colleges throughout the state, for example. But I also kind of take a look at private, so sometimes there's a school there that might be just the right fit for me as well. Next, we'll click on location. Well, it looks like I'm going to have to stay around home. I won't have a whole lot of money. I would rather not go into too much debt, so I'm going to stay in Washington, so I'll click on Washington, highlight that as blue over here, and then I'll look at majors offered. Now in this case, I'm going to have to type something in, and my real area of interest is automotive. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to type in just automotive. Oops, that's an R. Finger symmetry. And let's go search. It gives me some options in that area. So the majors that I would like to look at specifically are not necessarily engineering technician, but more of the mechanic and maybe even auto body. So I'm going to click those two and leave the other one off for now. Although I could go back and add it later. So I don't want a new search. What I'm going to do is add that to my selector. And this is what it gives me. It gives me these two majors selected. And next I'm asked to look at student services. I would love to have an academic advisor or counselor help me. I don't have any children. I would like to have employment services, placement to get a job, and so forth. And let's leave it at that, those three, and then let's look at our results on the right. So I have a list of 20 schools in the Washington area, in Washington in general, that meet my criteria. So at this point, you're going to want to continue your research into these potential matches. By selecting these schools, a minimum of 3 are required to make good on this particular milestone, the school selector. So let's go ahead and look down and see what's close to me. Well, I live in Auburn. Well, sure enough, there's Green River. Let's go ahead and click on that one. It tells me some information there, majors offered, some facts, and that's one of my schools. So I'm going to go ahead and list it under the school selector as one of my choices by clicking on the blue button on the right, as I did just now. I'll go back to my list, and let's see what else. Now, Tacoma, there's Bates. I heard somebody talking about Bates. It's not too far away. Let's look at that one, and let's assume that I like that one as well. Again, I'll select my plan. That's number 2, my second school. And third, let's take a little more of a look. Looking down, South Seattle College. That's a bit of a drive, but I've heard good things about it. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. Again, majors and facts and figures and so forth. So I click Save to my plan. Okay, so we're going to go back then one more time. We've selected at least 3 new schools in this particular case, but I can't forget to do the following. Okay, under Career and Technical School Selector now that I chose earlier, I want to make sure that I save my results on the same page that I got the results on. So I need to click on this button, Save to my plan, under the selector. So let's go Save to my plan. All right, successfully saved. The final thing we want to do is, as always, make sure that it shows up as complete. I'll click on My Plan under my name. There we go. Click My Plan. I show some progress of some kind. To view details, I go here. And as I come down, I'm looking for School Selector to show up as green, and it does. So with that, you can move on to the next milestone, and you have accomplished the School Selector. But don't forget to use the other features of Career Cruising. It's a pretty powerful tool. Thank you for listening today, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.